Well, my name is Dylan.mpg. I'm going to be going a major in geology. I'm working with Stephen Q. Dornbos. I will be extracting fossils. I've always been interested in this sort of stuff ever since I read dinosaur books as a kid. Never let go of it, and it's got me where I am today. Well, we're extracting these embryos from this half-billion-year-old Chinese rock. Well, you have to do it so that the rock goes away, but not the fossil. So, if you took chemistry, you have to make these solutions very specific. We have 100% solution of formic acid. You have to dilute that to 10%. Then you put some calcium bicarbonate in and some other stuff in very specific amounts. You have to weigh them out in the exact 2 milligrams and stuff. Pour it in, and then you put the rock in, and that specific solution will wear away the rock, but not these very tiny fossils. And then, after you let it sit for about 24 hours, you come back, you pour it all through a sieve. We have a series of 8 sieves all stacked on top of each other, and there's one sieve, 0.5 millimeter, that's where all your embryos end up. So you take it out, you dry it off, and you pour it on this little container, and you separate the embryos from rocks that aren't embryos, and you put it in this little tiny grid system, very extremely tough. The whole thing is this, but you can hold about, I'd say 50 on a size that big. That's how small these things are. And use a little bit of glue, just tiny water adhesive glue, and you stick them on. You have to use a microscope and a tiny little brush to capture these guys. And that's basically how we do it, and we can catalog them. In fact, the stuff I'm working with Dr. Dornbos, it's 500 million years old, so these things are very tiny, microscopic, almost as a period on the end of the sentence.
Yeah.
And they're embryos from these invertebrates. They're the first animals we know of on Earth. We find these embryos, they look like little soccer balls, but we don't know what made them. We have no clue what the adult animals look like. So that's part of the intrigue, to find what made them.
Right.
We do find other little animals that couldn't have made these eggs. They're about the same size, but they're the first animals that you could split down the middle and you could divide them into 2 equal halves like us, or birds, or, you can divide them into 2 equal halves. We call that bilateria. Well, you can get a good undergrad degree in geology just about anywhere, but this has a very good geology program. Like I said, Dr. Dornbos, he's worked in China with these extremely old animal fossils, and basically all the geologists and paleontologists I've talked to say that it's good to get a general geology degree first, and we have a lot of that here. Sedimentology, glaciology, volcanology, you name it, we probably have it. And it's good to specify later, like I'm probably going to go to grad school somewhere in South Dakota. They have good paleontology grad school stuff, but you don't want to specify yourself too early, otherwise nobody will hire you.